She acts like a side character in what's supposed to be her own book. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sinag and welcome to a new video. So in this one, we're going to do a series review of the Falling Like a Johnson series by Rilzy Adams. By the time that I'm filming this video, we only have 6 books in the series and I think there's going to be more, but we're going to talk about that later. So what I'm going to do in this series review is I'm going to talk about what each of these books is all about briefly and my experience while reading these books. And then after that, we're going to talk about this series as a whole and how great Rilzy Adams is as an author or a writer. So a brief overview of what this series is all about. So we have a family, the Johnson family, and this series surrounds the siblings. The first book is The Gift, and we have Maya and Jackson as our main characters. So Jackson is actually married to Charlotte, and Charlotte has a best friend named Maya. So Maya and Jackson don't like each other. They have this animosity for each other and they hated each other a lot, and the only reason why they are civil or somehow civil with each other is because they love Charlotte so much that they don't want her to be stressed out because of them. Maya is actually a surrogate mother of Charlotte and Jackson's baby. Something happened that unfortunately Charlotte passed away, and so Maya and Jackson were forced to connect or reconnect with each other and really set aside their differences and animosity with each other to be able to not just grieve the loss of something they both love, but at the same time also welcome and nurture the upcoming baby that they're going to have. Because as I've said, Maya is carrying Jackson and Charlotte's child. It shows a perfect or a very good transition from enemies to friends to lovers, at least for me. And it was portrayed really well and in a very natural way that you really can see their perspective and why they are reacting the way they reacted in this book. So my experience with this book is actually the Rilzy Adams book that made me cry in the middle of the night until morning, and I wasn't able to sleep that night because I just want to finish the book, because this one has the most compelling storytelling and writing style and plot I have read at that time. And so it is both heartbreaking and at the same time intriguing for me because of the drama. Like, they hate each other and Jackson was already married and Maya is the surrogate mother, but Jackson hated Maya, and then Charlotte unfortunately passed away. So there's a lot of things going on in this one, and Maya is going to give birth as well. So there's a lot of that, and at the same time we also see them grieve and how they grieve and how Charlotte's passing and this baby coming changed both of their perspective, not just on each other but also on life. And in her entire catalog, based from what I've read so far in her catalog, this one is the only book that made me cry really hard. And yeah, and I really felt so much for Jackson and Maya. And this is actually a great first book in a series for me because it kind of sets the tone for the following books. And this is actually the book I think personally that really shows Rilzy Adams's skill as a writer. This is actually the book that I will recommend to anyone who hasn't read any Rilzy Adams's book, because this one really shows her skill as an author and how she do her plot, her characters, everything well. So the next book naman is Will You Be Mine, and this is about JT and Hallie. So this is a friends to lovers with fake dating. JT and Hallie are actually best friends, and Hallie was supposed to go back to her, I forgot the name of the country, I'm so sorry, but she was supposed to go back to that and attend her best friend's or her former best friend's wedding. And that best friend is marrying her ex. So it's very juicy in terms of the tea. I was actually surprised with how heavy it is, because based from the premise and based from the premise of this book, it sounds like it's very like lighthearted, like it's friends to lovers and then it's fake dating, but it actually is kind of heavy. And with the revelations that we have got, it's very heartbreaking for me. And knowing what Hallie experienced when she was younger, I can imagine the pain that she experienced and how she was forced to do the decisions that she did. But anyway, I am being vague because I don't want to give all of the things out, like, because I want you to experience everything on your own. And I think all of the books in the series has depth and was really hard hitting in their own way. So my experience with this book, at first I am really excited. Like at first I am in a very like fluffy mood, like I am enjoying what I'm reading. It's very fun for me. I feel like this is the feel good book that I wanted to read at that time. But then the second half happens and I forgot. I really forgot if I cried, but I think I didn't, because if I do, then I'm for sure going to remember it, just like how much The Gift, the first book in the series, affected me. But in this one, what happened in the second part is so I didn't expect that. And that's where I kind of realized, what do you call this, it's not a formula, but it is Rilzy Adams's style, or it is Rilzy Adams's brand, I think. I don't know. But she has very hard-hitting topics or things in her books, but it is weave well with the plot, within the plot, and it feels like it has a purpose in the story. This book made me realize that, and made me appreciate the writing style of the author, because I think it is in this book that it was solidified to me that I really love this writing style. And I love how these stories are portrayed, how these characters are portrayed, and how fleshed out all of them are in their own ways. So the third book is Just One More Time. This one revolves around Orlando and Katrina. So they were actually in a relationship before, and for reasons, Orlando break up with Katrina. So this is a second chance romance. This book actually made me realize that in Rilzy Adams's book, there's a lot of character introspection and character growth, and I love that. I love that a lot. And I love that we get to see them grow as an individual, and at the same time grow within a partnership, or within a unit with their significant other. Orlando was dealing with a lot of things, and Katrina was also dealing with things, but she was mostly kind of forced to deal with whatever Orlando did, but it doesn't feel like she is a side character in her own book. And I actually really believe how they reconnected with each other, because at least for me, the good or the fun of a second chance romance trope is how is the author going to make me believe that their second chance is worth it. Because I am the type of person that I don't believe in second chance. It's really fun for me to read a second chance that works, and to see why and how it works. I think this book is really good in dealing with that, and in reconnecting our main characters together. So the fourth book is When Love Ignites. So we have Jasmine and Alex. So this one, Jasmine is the only girl, or the unika iha in the Johnson family. This is a workplace enemies to lovers romance, and obviously Jasmine and Alec were in a workplace and this one has that thing with nepotism, and I kind of agree with Alex's sentiments. Let's just be real here. Jasmine, you are working in your father's law firm, and I don't know what to say. That's kind of nepotism. And I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that you need to recognize or acknowledge your privilege. And yeah, that you were able to be there, to be a competent lawyer in your father's law firm, because you have the privilege to have a good education and to be in a family of lawyers and all of that. So anyway, I'm not ranting right now. I actually made a video reviewing this book, and it is kind of a rant na rin, but I am passionate with that because I just don't like reading about privileged people getting mad because other people pointed out that they are privileged, or they got there because of nepotism, which is kind of true in this one. So anyway, I'm not going to rehash that rant that I did. I'm just going to link I'm going to link the videos that I made for the books in this series, if I included them in a video. Jasmine and Alec, they kind of work for me because they're enemies. The reason why they are enemies in the first place is valid, I think, and it's kind of realistic, especially in a workplace setting. But their transition from enemies to lovers are a bit meh for me. It's not the same as what do you call this, Jackson and Maya, but I guess it's okay. And the reason why they are enemies are very realistic, at least for workplace. My experience with this book is I spent a lot of time being annoyed or getting annoyed at Jasmine. I am in Alex's shoes in this one. Like, I'm so tired of these privileged people denying or saying that they are not privileged. And anyway, let's move on to the worst book in this series. So, Mr. Jasper Johnson, the one that inspired me to make my first one-star rank review for the year 2023, Mr. Jasper Johnson. The fifth book, or what is supposed to be the last book in this series, is The Sweetest Escape. So, our main character is Jasper, and the love interest Rain. I can't call Rain a main character as well because she acts like a side character in what's supposed to be her own book. I made a dedicated rant review, so I'm just going to link that for you to watch because I don't want to rehash the same things that I've said in that video. But briefly, this is about Jasper. Jasper is a side chick, and he goes to this vacation in what's supposed to be a self-reflection thing for him, but he doesn't learn anything, and he goes back to the city and just continue being a dumb side chick. I don't have a great time reading because of how dumb our main character is, and I felt so bad because she doesn't deserve him. Like, honestly, they don't even have any chemistry at all. Sexual chemistry maybe, but they don't have any compatibility in other things. Rain deserves so much better, and I'm so sad for her. Let's move on with the last book, which is Yours Always. And actually, the author, in the author's note in The Sweetest Escape, she actually said that that is going to be the last book, but then we got another book, so Yours Always. So this one is a continuation of Katrina and Orlando's story, and this one, they are actually established couple, so they are already married, and they have experienced the loss of a child, and both of them have different coping mechanisms with regard to that, and because of that, it affected their marriage. A lot of things happened in this one. They tried to find ways to reconnect again, but for me personally, Orlando crossed a line that is irreversible for me, and I can't go back to rooting for them as a couple. And that's just me personally because like I said, I don't give second chances, and and the thing that he did is, especially the thing that he did, he chose that, or he is aware of what he did. Like, he deliberately do that to hurt her, or he deliberately do that knowing the full consequences of it, and knowing the situation or their situation in their marriage. I was actually contemplating on doing a dedicated review for this book, but then I think about it, and aside from that thing that happened in this book, I don't really have anything more to say, because for me personally, Rilzy Adams' writing style and her skill as an author was already established, so I'm just regurgitating things at that point. And the characters are well developed, and yeah, so basically that point in the plot is the thing that is kind of a rant review for me, but I gave it 5 stars. And now that I think about it, I think it is better to tell you what that thing, or what is that deal breaker for me, because I think context will help a lot in what I'm going to say next. So the thing that is a deal breaker for me that happened in this one is Orlando cheated on Katrina. So I think personally, just like what I said in my review of The Gift a while ago, Yours Always kind of piggybacks The Gift, because in this one, if you are still hesitant about Rilzy Adams' writing style and her skills as an author, you should definitely read this book, because in this one, even I I don't like cheating in books, and I think it takes a lot, or it takes a really great writer for me to be able to believe that a cheater deserves a second chance. I believe that Rilzy Adams can do redemption arc really well. And okay, for me personally, I still stand by I don't care about Orlando anymore. Like, because he deliberately cheat on Katrina. Like, he knows that he is cheating on her. Like, and he chose to do what he did. And if you want to know like my actual thing about it, you should definitely read my Goodreads review of this book, because as I was really specific and passionate while writing that review. But in this one, the writing style really stood out to me, because even though personally I can't support or I can't root for Orlando anymore, the actual story and how they reconnect is really believable to me, and I kind of support them in their journey together as a couple, because at the end of the day, I am not the one who's married to Orlando. It is Katrina, so she's the one who's going to deal with his cheating ass. And aside from that, we really get to see both of them working with their grief and their marriage together, and them attending therapy. And in this book, really showing them attending therapy and their reaction and their therapy sessions. It's really great to see, because it normalizes therapy. They really tried until they find the right therapist for them. It's really fascinating to read as well, because this is the first book that I have read a couple doing a couple's therapy. It's kind of uncomfortable for me as someone who don't like confrontation. Talking to a therapist was a really huge deal on itself, and then doing that with your significant other whom you have a very what do you call this, a very not good relationship at the moment. I can't even imagine what that feels. So at first I felt really uncomfortable seeing them kind of dealing with their, because obviously in the therapy they have talked about Jillian because of the cheating, and at first I'm really uncomfortable because I don't like confrontation, but then I see them work through with it. It is not just the therapy session, it's also what you're going to do, or how you communicate, how you reacted, or how you acted towards each other after the therapy, or outside of that room. Seeing them really applying what they've learned in the therapy, or what at least what we've seen from their therapy sessions, and them really communicating well, having healthy communication. It's really refreshing to read, and it makes me root for them even though I don't like what happened. This book reminds me that we are still humans. We are not perfect. We have different what do you call this, temptations, and different scenes and different things that going on in our lives, and just because we did something, it doesn't mean that we can change or that we can improve for the better. And so I don't know, this one is very at first it's very heartbreaking, to be honest, because of what happened at the first half of the book. But as soon as they tried to really work on the relationship and go to therapy and communicate really well and do date nights together, it's really what it calls heartwarming to read, and kind of it gives me hope. It gave me hope, and being in a relationship is a lot of work, and you really need to have a great or a healthy communication with each other, and at the same time trust and respect to each other. I think The Gift and this one, Yours Always, showcases her writing skills and her how she developed her characters and how she incorporates the plot and the characters and the drama, but also giving hope, and also making us readers feel the connection and the love between the characters. I really love that, and I think both of these books really showcase that. Let's now go to the overall review of this series. So each of these books, it's not just about the romance. We really get to see our characters having their character growth, or having growth and being reflective, and having their own individual journey. We get to see them working on their own shit and doing individual work, while also improving or doing things to improve themselves as a part of a unit or in a relationship. So that's why Rilzy Adams is my favorite writer. As an aspiring writer or author, I really admire how Rilzy Adams do her characterization, her plot. I just have so much respect to her for that. This series, despite me giving a 1-star rating to The Sweetest Escape, I still actually recommend to everyone. And for me personally, this series is a 5-star series. All of these books have their own thing going on, and all of the characters can stand on their own. You really can tell who's whom, and they have their own characteristics, personalities, and depths. And aside from that, despite me mentioning a while ago the different tropes that is included in the books, Rilzy Adams didn't make it like a trope heavy book. The trope doesn't dictate what the book or where the book is going to be. It is just included or woven intricately in the plot, and I just love the seamlessness in that. I actually obviously highly recommend this series. There's probably going to be more from the series because of the ending in the Yours Always, and I think the following books in the series will focus on established romance. So it starts with Yours Always with Katrina and Orlando, and then the next one will be JT and Hallie, and then I think after that will be Jasmine and Alec, because of what we have seen in Yours Always. Because in Yours Always we get to see different hints, specifically with Jasmine, and the epilogue with JT and Hallie. So I think they're going to be the next couple or established couple in this series, and I can't actually wait for it because I really want to read more established romance or established couple in romance, and see them dealing with realistic stuff, and still be able to work together, and basically have healthy communication, and be a team. I'm kind of somehow sad because I don't want these characters to experience more pain and suffering, but at the end of the day, happily ever after doesn't happen at the wedding. And married couple or established couple experiences different things then that affects the relationship. I can't wait to read more from this series. This is actually my favorite series from Rilzy Adams, and I just love her writing style, and she's definitely an all-time favorite author for me, and a writer or author inspiration. That's going to be it for this video. If you haven't read a Rilzy Adams books yet, I highly recommend this series to you. Also, please take note of the content warnings for each of this book, because I know that not everyone can read all of these based on the content. So please take care of yourself. That's all for this video. If you have read any of these books din pala, or if you have read all of these books, please comment down below what are your thoughts about it. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to my channel as well if you want to support me, and click the notification bell so that you're going to be the first to know when I upload a new video. I'm also going to put my socials in the descriptions below and also somewhere in the screen. And yes, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye bye.